it's Dorothy Guining with Scrapbooking Quebec. Welcome to video 6 in my series, Simple Pages with Impact. In this series, I share ideas on how to create big impact on simple pages. Pages with wow that come together super quickly. I aim to do these layouts in 1 hour or less. In the description box below, you will find a playlist with all the other videos in this series, and this one is for the Scrapbook Nerd online shop design team. I'm going to be sharing an alternative way to use pre-made background papers, and I'm talking about those papers that have huge images in one section, then a blank space in another. The space looks like it's made for a photo. So here's what I'm going to be using. I have paper and embellishments from the Simple Stories Simple Vintage Berry Fields collection. I'm also going to be using alpha dies from Elizabeth Craft Designs and a date stamp set from P13. The last time I checked, the Simple Stories Strawberry Fields collection pack and the P13 stamps were still available at the Scrapbook Nerd. I will put a link to the shop along with all the products I use in the description box below. So let's get started. Here's what's on my desk. In advance, I prepared a frame style foundation page with 3 sheets of paper. I gutted 2 of them. There is a tutorial on my channel where I explain how to do that, so that will be listed and linked below. Now I'm going to show you the papers I'm going to be using. So that's one of those pre-made background papers. You can see there's a big image with a rooster along with a big empty space where I could put a photo. There are a few other papers in this collection pack that could possibly fall into that category, especially that yellow one there with the bunch of strawberries. Anyway, those can be used, like I said, just by plopping a photo on, but I'm going to be doing it a bit differently. I also have the sticker sheet from this collection. It's part of the paper collection. I have chipboard stickers. I also have some layered ephemera pieces. They're not really layered. They're actually flat, but they look layered. And I actually fussy cut all the white edging from around those ephemera pieces. It was easy to do because they're all squared up. And I have a tag cut apart sheet that I cut up in advance. So the first thing I'm going to do is continue preparing my foundation page, and you're going to see this is very quick. All I'm doing is cutting off the bottom edge of this paper. I want that ticket that you see at the bottom just to kind of line up towards the bottom of my page. So I'm going to trim that down, and then what I'm going to do is take this paper and basically tear it on a diagonal. So what I want here is I want this paper to take up the bottom left corner of my page. Basically the bottom diagonal half of my page. I want it to be filled up with this paper. And I'm using an old tearing tool from Creative Memories. Clearly that's not necessary, but I love it, so I use it all the time. And you can see where I'm going with this. I'm going to be placing my photo, which, by the way, you're going to notice at the end of this video gets switched up, and I totally explain why at the end of this video. Anyway, that photo is going to go on the top right corner, and now I'm adhering that diagonal border at the bottom of the page. And you may have noticed when I placed my adhesive along the diagonal edge, I placed the adhesive more or less towards the middle because I'm going to be doing a lot of tucking in that area. I'm already landed at my embellishment phase of this layout. This comes together very, very quickly. So I do have my title. It's going to be Home Sweet Home. So the sweet comes from the chipboard sticker sheet, but home I die cut. So I'm showing you here, I die cut the word home twice, and I turned them into self-adhesive alphas. And I'm going to show you how I did that. Basically, you can see I have a die set there. That is from Elizabeth Craft Designs. It's called the Alpha and Number Stitched die set, I think. It is still in the shop. It's just not available right now. So if it interests you, you can let Joy know and she will try to get it for you. It's a great, great die set. What I'm showing you right now is how to create self-adhesive letters. So basically, you take the alphas that you need. I'm only doing it with 1, but you can do it with as many as you want. You cut out your paper. Then what you do is you take these Be Creative tape sheets, which will be listed and linked below, and you cut out the Be Creative tape sheet to fit the paper. That's what I'm doing right now. Once that's done, you turn your paper over, then you remove one of the two backings on that Be Creative tape sheet and you place it on your paper. So you place it on the back side of your paper and that makes the paper adhesive. Then what I do is I run my alphas or whatever I want to create with my dies. I run it through my die cutting machine and out will pop self-adhesive letters. I absolutely love it. If you have alpha dies, those Be Creative tape sheets are fantastic. Anyway, you can see all of my other embellishing is around me. So I have my title, of course. I also have the ephemera pieces, and you can see I'm showing them to you right now. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, those had white edges, but I cut them all off. They were really, really easy to do. That's a cut apart sheet of tags, so I have those handy. Here are the chipboard stickers, and you can see I've already removed the word sweet, and I also have the stickers, which are part of the collection pack. So what I'm going to do right now is start building clusters, and basically what I'm going to do is really utilize that torn diagonal edge. My title is going to be placed underneath my photo like a shelf. And now what I want to do is just kind of tuck in a bunch of embellishments along that torn edge. Now, it's already really busy, especially with that pre-made background paper. So I'm definitely going to be wanting to utilize some white space. I'm going to want to save some white space, but I am creating quite a busy cluster up in the top left corner, just tucking pieces underneath that diagonal edge, including a tag, and that's going to be where I put my journaling. So I'm placing my title underneath, just doing a little bit of overlapping. I really do like to use die cut alphas with embellishment titles. I love how they work together. I'm also showing you here as well that I do plan later on to roll back that torn edge a bit. It's a little bit premature to do it now, but I am aware that I can do it, especially for that tag, because that's going to be where my journaling goes. I'm going to leave a little bit of white space underneath the title there, but I do want another little repetition of an embellishment cluster at the bottom. So that embellishment, it's like an ephemera label. I'm going to put that at the bottom, and later my title will, not my title, I'm sorry, my date will go there. I also tucked in a piece of chipboard in the top area by the tag. Now I'm going into the sticker sheet, and I find this, it's like a round Viewmaster wheel. I've already put something round in the upper portion at the top left. So I'm going to repeat that at the bottom as well. So you can see I have it kind of coming out from underneath that torn edge and underneath that label, which is later where I will be putting the date. So I do need some finishing touches, but I am going to adhere what I've decided upon already. I started by adhering that Viewmaster wheel at the bottom, then I adhered my photo, and now I'm coming in at the top, just kind of tucking out all of those layered pieces, including the tag, which later I will put my journaling as well. Now I do have to put my title down, so I'm going to start with home, and it's going to be overlapped with the word sweet. So I'm not going to make you watch all of it, but you can see I'm just placing it down, and I'm really thrilled that these alphas already have adhesive on them. They adhere so nice and flat to the page, and on top of it, they are just so quick and easy to do. Also, you can see off camera, I continued, I overlapped sweet, and then I put home underneath. So now off camera as well, what I'm showing you is that I did my journaling on the tag, but I also stamped the date on that label at the bottom of the page. I showed you those stamps from P13. They're like calendar stamps or something. I absolutely love them because they have the days of the week, the months of the year, and the numbers 0 to 31. So it makes stamping the date really, really easy because I don't have to do 2-1 to do 21, for example. 21 is on the stamp set. Anyway, I popped that up on foam adhesive and now I'm coming in with some finishing touches. So what I'm doing right now is just kind of rolling back that paper, and I really like how that blue edge underneath shows. I couldn't do that earlier simply because I knew my title was going to be overlapping that torn edge, and if I ruffled it too early, it would have made adhering my title very, very difficult. I also want to add a few more things, including a bit more red. So I find this red sticker butterfly, and I'm just tucking it in up there behind the tag, and I'm happy with that. I'm just adding a little bit more color there. And I also want to put something in the tag. So I have these self-adhesive brads, and there's one of them with a heart on it. And that is me in front of the Welcome to Nova Scotia sign, which is where I'm from. So I love Nova Scotia. So a heart is very, very appropriate. Now I'm going into the sticker sheet, and I just pull off one, I tuck it in, but I don't really do it. At this point, I'm finding there's something I don't like about the page. It's really, really busy. Anyway, I will get to that in a minute. What I'm doing right now is coming in with a little bit of foam adhesive, and behind some of those tags and labels that are sticking out, I'm just adding a little bit of foam adhesive, but I'm doing it really kind of down in behind. All I want to do here is create a slight shadow. So I'm not popping everything up. I'm just popping kind of the tips of some of these elements up just to add a little bit of shadow and dimension and interest in that embellishment cluster. So I'm pretty much at the end here, but what you're going to see that I do is off camera, I do end up changing my photo. So you can see that right now. It's the photo from, it's a photo, I'm sorry, from the very same photo shoot, except I felt like I needed a bigger human in the photo to counterbalance the large title. The title is so large, and I felt like it was taking all of the attention away from my photo. So by using a photo with a stronger subject, I felt like my attention was back to the photo, which is always my intention. The photo that I took off the page, I'm going to use it on the complimentary page. So let's just review what I did here. I started with a 12 by 12 frame style foundation page, and then I ripped a pre-made background paper on a diagonal, making sure that I saved the image on the pre-made background paper. I placed a photo towards the top of the page, and it's slightly tucked under the diagonal paper. The large title served as a shelf beneath the photo, and then I tucked embellishments along the torn edge just towards the top, and then a small repetition of that at the bottom. I still wanted to maintain that white space because it is a very, very busy page. This is a quick design with impact and a great way to use up embellishments and all those pre-made background papers. I hope you enjoyed video 6 of simple pages with impact. If you did, I'd greatly appreciate a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the Scrapbook Nerd YouTube channel, we would be thrilled if you did. The same thing for my channel, Scrapbooking Quebec, where you will find more videos in this series. Don't forget to check out the Scrapbook Nerd online shop for these fun supplies and more. Take care, and I will see you soon on YouTube. Bye-bye.